All right. I'm ready. Good, good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Buenos días a todos. Esta es su comparecencia inicial ante la sala menor del Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court.
Yo soy el juez Brad Gardner. Soy un juez en este tribunal.
I'm not here to conduct a trial of your case or to take a plea in your case.
No estoy aquí para llevar a cabo el juicio de su caso, tampoco para aceptar una declaración a acusaciones.
I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you,
Estoy aquí para informarle de las acusaciones formuladas en su contra,
to advise you of certain rights,
para informarle de ciertos derechos,
to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail,
para imponerles fianza por las acusaciones las cuales tengo la autorización de imponer fianza,
to schedule a preliminary hearing,
para programar su audiencia preliminar
and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
y también para determinar si requieren el asesoramiento de un abogado.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Tienen el derecho de permanecer callados sin decir nada.
But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you.
Pero si eligen renunciar a ese derecho, cualquier cosa que diga se puede usar en su contra durante esta audiencia.
So please don't discuss the facts of your case.
Así que por favor no hablen de los hechos de su caso.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights.
Durante esta diligencia y cualquier ulterior tendrá los siguientes derechos.
The right to the presumption of innocence,
El derecho a ser presuntos inocentes,
the right to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies,
el derecho de ser acusado formalmente por el gran jurado cuando se trata de delitos graves,
the right to a speedy and public trial by jury,
el derecho a un juicio público y sin demora ante un jurado,
the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you,
el derecho a ver, a escuchar y a contrainterrogar los testigos convocados a declarar en su contra,
the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf,
el derecho a obligar que comparezcan testigos para que declaren a su favor,
the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense,
el derecho a presentar testimonio o pruebas en su propia defensa,
the right to have an attorney represent you.
el derecho a un abogado que lo represente.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify.
Si no tiene los medios para costear el servicio de un abogado, se le puede designar uno de oficio para representarlo.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail.
Algunos de ustedes se le permitirá depositar fianzas sin restricciones para salir en libertad de la cárcel.
And these bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property.
Y se puede depositar esa fianza entregando efectivo a través de una compañía comercial de fianzas o dando de garantía una propiedad.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places.
Algunos de ustedes tendrán fianzas con condiciones especiales, las cuales prohíben que tengan contacto con ciertas personas o que vayan a ciertos lugares.
You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you're in jail.
También se les prohíbe contactar a la víctima mientras están detenidos en la cárcel.
If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial.
Si incumple esta orden judicial, su fianza quedará revocado y tendrá que permanecer detenidos en la cárcel hasta su juicio.
You could also receive additional felony charges.
También, a consecuencia, se le podría formular acusaciones graves adicionales.
It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond.
Cabe notar que si alguien figura como la víctima, en su caso, a esa persona no se le permitirá pagar la fianza por usted.
Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail.
Algunos de ustedes tienen acusaciones las cuales yo como juez no tengo la autorización de imponerles fianza.
In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date.
Si este es su caso, una audiencia para determinar su fianza se programará ante un juez de la Sala Superior del Condado de Clayton y le informaré de la fecha de la audiencia.
If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time.
Si actualmente está cumpliendo una condena de libertad condicional, no tengo la autorización de imponerles fianza en este momento.
Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest.
Si es apropiado imponerles fianza en su caso, esa decisión se tomará una vez que el agente de libertad condicional ha tenido la oportunidad de considerar esta nueva detención.
The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you.
El propósito de la audiencia preliminar es para determinar si existen pruebas suficientes para sustentar las acusaciones en su contra.
The standard at this stage is very low.
Lo que hay que probar en esta etapa jurídico es muy bajo.
A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred.
Para que un juez determine si una acusación sigue adelante en esta etapa judicial, solamente tiene que decidir si es posible que se perpetró el delito.
Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing.
Todos tienen el derecho a renunciar a su derecho a la audiencia preliminar.
However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing.
Sin embargo, debería consultar primero con un abogado si no está seguro si le conviene renunciar a la audiencia preliminar.
If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Si deposita fianza, la audiencia preliminar se renuncia automáticamente.
You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date.
Y recibirá notificación de la próxima audiencia en la dirección que deja registrado.
Lastly, I need everyone to raise your right hand.
Por último, necesito que todos levanten la mano derecha.
Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Juran o afirman que cualquier cosa que digan durante esta diligencia será la verdad y toda la verdad.
Okay, let's begin with Mr. Vasquez.
Comencemos con el señor Vázquez.
Good morning, sir. Can you hear and can you see and understand the interpreter?
Buenos días, señor. ¿Puede usted ver y entender a la intérprete?
Sí, está bien.
Yes, that's fine.
You've been charged with one count of simple assault. The bond is going to be set at $3,000.
Se le acusa de un delito de agresión simple. Se le impone la fianza a $3,000.
Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
¿Piensa que sí va a poder depositar la fianza para salir, señor?
¿Cuánto?
How much?
Ajá.
$3,000.
$3,000.
$1,000.
$3,000?
Yes, sir.
Sí, señor.
Sí.
Well, yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Eva Maria Sanchez. Do you understand that?
También existe una condición de ningún contacto con su fianza que dispone que no tenga ningún contacto con Eva María Sánchez. ¿Entiende eso?
Sí.
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 17th, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out.
Su audiencia preliminar se señala la fecha 17 de agosto, pero esta audiencia se renunciará una vez que usted salga bajo fianza.
Ajá.
and you will receive a new court date in the mail.
Y luego recibirá una nueva notificación de su audiencia por correo.
Una pregunta, pero yo ahí vivo con mi cuñada, ¿me puedo salir de ahí?
But I have a question. I live there with my sister-in-law. Do I leave there?
Yes, you cannot be around her.
Sí, no puede tener contacto con ella, señor.
Yo no voy a salir de ahí.
So how do I leave there?
Two things. One, this condition can get changed upon Ms. Sanchez contacting the Solicitor General office, who's a prosecutor, to let them
Dos,
know. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
dos cosas. ¿Se puede cambiar esa condición de ningún contacto? Si la señora Sánchez se pone en contacto con la fiscalía, que es el procurador,
She can let them know that she's not afraid of you, and they will do their own investigation.
ella les puede informar que ella no le tiene miedo a usted y ellos pueden hacer su propia investigación.
If they believe that this is a situation where this bond condition can be changed, removed, or modified, they will make that determination.
Si ellos piensan que esta es una situación donde se puede cambiar, eliminar o modificar la condición de la fianza, entonces lo harían.
No, pero ¿se puedo cambiar de ahí?
May the interpreter ask him to repeat. ¿Cómo dice?
¿Y si me puedo cambiar de ahí donde yo vivo?
So I can move from there, from where I'm living?
Yes.
Sí, señor.
Ok, está bien.
Okay, that's fine.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Quisiera que yo determine si usted cumple requisitos para un abogado de oficio, señor.
Sí.
Yes.
How much do you make per hour?
¿Cuánto está ganando, señor, por hora?
Por ahora, pues me pagan 12.
They pay us $12 an hour.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Usted sí cumple los requisitos, así que voy a nombrar un abogado para representarlo, señor.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. If you don't have any questions, you're free to go back.
Y si no tiene más preguntas, ya se puede retirar.
Hacer una llamada ahorita para ver si me pueden venir a sacar.
Can I make a phone call to see if they can come get me out?
Yes, you will be allowed to use the phones after this hearing at some point. I can't tell you when, but it will be after this hearing.
Sí, a usted le permitirán usar el teléfono después de esta audiencia. En algún momento, no le puedo precisar exactamente cuándo, pero sí le van a permitir utilizar el teléfono, señor.
Sí, gracias.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. You're free to go back.
Gracias, señor. Ya se puede retirar.
It was good to see you, Ms. Toles. You have a good day. Thank you
It
for your
was-
services.
Good seeing you as well. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, let's switch over to the ladies' side.
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready for you. Let's go off.
All right, Ms. Glover,
Yes, Your Honor.
ma'am, you've been charged with one count of driving under the influence of alcohol, one count of hit and run, and one count of improper lane change. I've set a total bond at $8,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for August 17th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back, ma'am.
Thank you.
No, que son todos.
You are Miss, is it Olisa?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass, one count of battery. I've set the total bond at $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for August 17th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
All right, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are Miss Smith.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass. I've set the bond at $3,000. Will you please post that bond?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 17th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, Ms. Smith?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. You're Ms. Tucker?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you've been charged with one count of obstructing an officer. I've set the bond at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, I can.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for August 17th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Nothing.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is what we have on the female side.
Okay, I concur. Thank you. Let's switch over to the male side. Mr. Abdul? Let's see. All right. Are you Mr. Abdul?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you've been charged with one count of simple assault. I set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Truborius Hall. Do you understand that?
I don't even know.
Okay. The allegation in this case is there's something on video, and the allegation is that you apparently told this person that you would break his nose. And I think that's where the simple assault comes from. So if you don't know this person, that should be easy for you to stay away from this person. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set. I'm sorry. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 17th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently working?
I'm 1099, sir.
Okay. All right. I'm going to find that you qualify. That did look like 1099, and I couldn't. It seems strange, so that's why I asked that question. You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Abdul?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
You can use the restroom.
No, you can go back yourself.
All right. Do we have Mr. Benson or Mr. Bryant next?
Mr. Bryant.
Okay. Mr. Bryant, sir, you've been charged with one count of theft by conversion. I set the bond at $15,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for August 18th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, you're going to hire your own lawyer?
Already have one. Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Bryant? All right, sir, you're free to go back.
This is Mr. Benson, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Benson, sir, you've been charged with aggravated assault, kidnapping, and obstructing an officer. I cannot set bond on the kidnapping charge, so I did not set bond on the other felony, which is the aggravated assault. I set a $2,000 bond for the obstructing an officer charge. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from civil. It looks like the name is Benson. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 18th at 8:30 in the morning. There's going to be a bond hearing date set for August 20th. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, you do qualify, Mr. Benson. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Yes.
Are you Mr. Duffy?
Yes, sir. Be careful the water.
Are you Mr. Duffy?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Duffy, you've been charged with one count of loitering or prowling. The bond is set by schedule, which means it's automatically set at $1,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 17th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, you sir.
Oh,
Yeah,
and I tell people I got a very small brain, so I got a yes or no.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I would like for you to.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Duffy. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, you're free to go back. Mr. Smith. How are you
Yes, Your Honor,
doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I apologize. I thought I received the email that it was at 11 o'clock.
It is at 11. We started early. Who are you representing?
Maurice Bryant.
Okay. I just actually dealt with Mr. Bryant. Can we bring Mr. Bryant back?
Yes, Your Honor.
So just so you know, Mr. Smith, I set a bond for Mr. Bryant at $15,000. And I set a preliminary hearing date for August 18th at 8:30 in the morning. But of course, that date will get waived upon his bonding out. I will hear from you when he comes back as to anything you want to tell me about bond or anything related to his case.
I appreciate that. And again, I apologize. I would have been on. I've been just sitting around.
No, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Because we so rarely have attorneys at times, we will start early. And I do expect people to say, hey, I got a lawyer. So that's why I'm bringing him back, because he should get the benefit of having hired a lawyer, and anything you want to tell me about this case, I will consider.
Well, thank you. And I do also want to apologize for my attire. I'm on vacation, and this was kind of a surprise situation for me.
There is, I've been a criminal defense lawyer for more than 20 years, and I've been before judges that are not people that I would want to emulate their behavior.
Sure.
So unless there's something that you're doing that is really crazy, I'm about just getting the business done and let's move things forward.
I appreciate that. But
I do appreciate the sentiment of saying that to me. Where are you? Is it in Florida?
I am actually in South Carolina at Hilton Head Beach. So I was there this week with the hurricane or tropical storm that went through.
There is, with doing this and getting, and I'm just filling time as we're waiting for them to bring Mr. Bryant back. But when this whole latest tropical depression thing, unless I didn't get an email about it, I would not have known about it.
Right. Unless I was out in it.
Okay, Mr. Bryant.
What's up, Bernie?
Have your lawyer here. I asked to bring you back. I told your lawyer about the bond that I set, and I'm giving him the opportunity to do his job as a lawyer. So, Mr. Smith, anything you want to say about this case, or Mr. Bryant?
And Your Honor, I do believe that under most circumstances, that would be a fair bond considering the circumstances and the warrant that's out there. I would like to point out to the court, and this is kind of an unusual situation in that the entity that is saying that he owes the money is actually taking payments from him and has been for the last year. They actually had him sign a promissory note saying that this is what I owe and this is what I'm going to be paying and this is my payment schedule. I do have all that. It was emailed to me this morning, which I would think that based on that certainly would indicate, one is I'm kind of surprised at the warrants, for them taking money like that is kind of unusual. But the other is it certainly goes to show his intent is not to run from this. It's certainly to come into court and do everything that he can to make this right. I would also point out that because he's making those payments, and it's a $350 a month payment that he's been doing, but because he's making those payments, it certainly would, the lower bond he can get, the better off he would be as far as continuing that.
So for your edification, Mr. Smith, it appears that this warrant was obtained on September 11th of 2019.
That's my understanding as well.
Do you know when the agreement was entered into?
I have the note. If you'll give me just a second,
Sure.
Again, I'm not in front of my computer. Unfortunately, I'm not in access to it, but I am going to. It was just sent to me. I have a note showing the promissory agreement was entered into and it was notarized. I don't see the July 14th, 2020.
Okay. All right, so based upon that representation, Mr. Smith, I'm going to reduce his bond to $1,500.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Bryan, I'm going to contact your family and let them know what's going on, okay?
Appreciate it, boss.
All right, Mr. Bryant, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
Mr.
Thank you,
Smith,
Honor.
enjoy your vacation.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
My excuse.
Yes, sir. Let's see. Did I do Mr. Duffy already?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Edwards.
This is Mr. Edwards.
Mr. Edwards, sir, you're charged with one count of driving under the influence of alcohol, one count of improper lane change. Your total bond is going to be set at $5,500. Do you believe you can pay that bond?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 17th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Jordan. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's say Mr. Jordan to the end. Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass, damage to property. I've set the bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from, it appears to be a Felicia Favors. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 17th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're on the outer edge, sir, but I'm going to find that you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Keller?
You said $5,000, right?
Yes, sir. And that can be cash, commercial, or property, meaning you can go through a bonding company, you can pay the whole amount in cash. Sheriff's office will hold it and return it to you when your case is over. Or if you have property that has value at least 3 times the bond amount, which would be at least $15,000 in equity, then you can put up the property and they put a lien on the property until your case is over and they take the lien off. The sheriff's department. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Lopez. Mr. Lopez, sir, you're charged with 1 count of driving under the influence of alcohol, 1 count of improper lane change, and 1 count of following too close. You're gonna have a total bond set at $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for August 17th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I think I make too much.
I'm sorry.
I think I make too much out. No, sir. No, sir.
I mean, you're on the outer edge, but I err on the side of appointing lawyers rather than not. So if you want me to, I will.
I'm good. That's not so.
Okay. And you'll be free to discharge his lawyer if you desire in the future and hire your own lawyer, do whatever you want to do. But I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Lopez?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is it Mr. McElwaney?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you charged with 1 count of failing to register. I've set the bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for August 18th at 8:30 in the morning because it's a felony offense. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes.
Okay, free to go back.
Is there,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I had a question.
I can barely hear you.
I said, yes, sir, I do have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
Yeah, when I was in Henry County, they told me to show proof of incarceration where pretty much I was locked up already for like where I'm in here for right now. I was in Henry County while I was supposed to be here.
Hold up. So you're saying that you were in custody at the time that that this happened?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm going to look up your criminal history. I'm going to compare it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you.
No, stay there. Stay there.
But I got the proof in my property also.
Okay. Okay, what you've told me appears to be correct. I cannot dismiss this charge at this stage, but I can reduce the bond. I'm gonna reduce the bond to $1,500. Okay? And I've appointed a lawyer, so you need to speak to the lawyer about that and show the proof of that information, okay? Do you have any other questions, sir? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
$1,600.
Mr. Rambert,
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing well. So you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. I'm gonna set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's gonna be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Tierra Airy. Do you understand that?
She wasn't even involved.
So that should be easy, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, your preliminary hearing date is gonna be set for August 17th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Please, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Rambert. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you. Have a good.
You too. Mr. Rosser,
What's on the sit on that board?
Mr. Rosser, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle with an expired or invalid tag, 1 count of driving a vehicle on a suspended license, 1 count of giving a false name, address, or date of birth, and 1 count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon. I've set a total bond in this case at $9,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No,
I'm
sir.
sorry, sir.
No, sir.
No. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? All right, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 18th because you have this felony offense here. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out. If you do not believe that you can bond out, you should speak to your lawyer about working or negotiating this case with the district attorney's office, okay?
You should talk to him about what?
Okay. If you are unable to bond out on this case, my understanding is that the district attorney's office, because of the whole COVID related stuff, that they are willing to negotiate cases far in advance of court dates. So if you do not believe you can bond out, and this is a situation where you're trying to get out of jail, your lawyer should speak to the district attorney's office about your case. First, you should speak to your lawyer about your case, and then your lawyer can speak to the district attorney about your case. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir. You gonna appoint me a lawyer?
Yes, sir. I have.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else?
That's all, sir.
Okay. Free to go back. Mr. Smar. Mr. Smar, you've been charged with 1 count of robbery and 1 count of simple battery, family violence. I am not setting bond on the robbery charge. I'm setting a $5,000 bond on the simple battery family violence charge. I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for August 18th
So
at
both
8:30.
charges up here?
Let me finish and then we'll have a conversation. I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for August 18th at 8:30 in the morning, setting a bond hearing date for August 20th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, I cut you off. What were you trying to say, Mr. Smart?
Honestly, was there a charge here?
Yes, it's robbery. These are warrants that were taken out on May 17th of this year. And the first allegation of robbery is that Shaquita Hicks who I believe is a person that you're familiar with. The allegation is that you pushed her out of the way and took her car. And then the battery, simple battery, family violence is that you and her were in a relationship and that you, looks like it says that you, it says struck her, but I mean, that could be punch, kick, I don't know. But that's the allegation. Okay, do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
So I need a bond.
No.
You do not have a bond on the robbery charge. You do have a bond on the battery, which is 5,000. But unless and until this robbery thing is taken care of, you're gonna be sitting in jail.
What you mean taken care of by that?
The allegation is that you punched or struck your Miss Hicks and took her car. That's the robbery. I wasn't there, but based upon the allegation, I'm not setting bond on that. So if it's untrue, if it's a lie, if there's mitigation somewhere as to what happened, that's going to have to get dealt with the district attorney's office. So if it is, and they say, you know what, Miss Hicks, she forged this or she lied, but there's an allegation that there is a witness that saw the whole thing. And so I'm just letting you know. Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, sir, you're charged with possessing a weapon during the commission of a crime, having a weapon with an altered mark, meaning serial number rubbed off, failing to stop at a stop sign twice, and driving a vehicle, looks like it says with the learner's permit. So you're gonna have a total bond set at $11,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for August 18th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
All right, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? All right, sir, you're free to go back. Is Mr. Turner OTB?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Watson. Mr. Watson, sir, you've been charged with one count of entering an automobile, one count of criminal damage to property in second degree, one count of financial transaction card theft, and one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. I've set a total bond at $31,500. Do you believe you can post that bond? Okay. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir. Give me 1 second. You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for August 18th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out. Now, Mr. Watson, I cut you off. What were you saying, sir?
How much was the bond again?
Total bond is $31,500. $10,000 for the entering automobile, $10,000 for criminal damage property, and the second degree, $10,000 for the financial transaction card theft, and $1,500 for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Okay. Any other questions, sir? All right, free to go back.
Did you give me my other court date?
August 18th, 8:30 in the morning, but that they will get waived upon your ability to bond out.
All right.
Okay. Do we have Mr. Singleton?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
Okay. Mr. Singleton, I set bonds for your case on yesterday, but I was told that you refused to come to court. You're gonna have, you're charged with concealing the identity of a motor vehicle, theft by receiving stolen property, loitering or prowling, violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, and possession of drug-related objects. I've set a total bond. Give me 1 second. Of $8,000. You believe you can post that bond, sir?
No, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for August 18th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Now we have Mr. Jordan. Mr. Jordan, you're here on what's called a fugitive from justice warrant. And what that basically means is that you have a warrant out of another state. Before I go through the whole spiel, I always ask, have you spoken to anyone about this yet? This warrant, do you know where the warrant is from?
My wife she told me that Seville County, Tennessee had a hold on me
Right,
last year from when I was up there last year.
right. And it says for failure to register.
Yes, sir.
So you have a right to contest that if you believe that you're not the person named in the warrant, or the warrant is somehow invalid. You can contest that by demanding a hearing here. If you believe that this warrant is out there and that it could be valid, you can waive that hearing. Whether you waive the hearing or not, at the point that there's a determination that you are the person named and the warrant is valid, there's a clock that starts to tick, and that initial time is 30 days, and it can go up to 60 days. So if you believe that you are the person named and that is valid, you're just delaying the inevitable when you say, I demand to have a hearing. But that's your right. You can do that. I have no dog in the fight. Doesn't matter to me whether you fight the extradition or not. If you don't fight it, it starts the whole process of moving along faster. Are you with me so far?
I'm with you. I'm trying to figure out when you said if it's me, because from my understanding and from the paper that I have, everything that they have against Onu is not me, as my name, birthday, all that is wrong. So what they want, what they have on me when they gave me the OR. So I'm trying to figure out about that. What's with that?
So if you believe that this is an error, you have the right to fight it, and there will be a hearing, and there will be a determination as to whether you are the person and whether this stuff exists. Like the information will be brought down to the judge to look at. If you know or believe that you may be a person that is subject to a failure to register, charge, then, you know, if the thing is, well, there's an I in my name and they don't have the I on there, so it ain't me. Okay, you can play that game and you can do that, and that information will be determined. But all you're doing is just sitting here doing dead time.
Well, I have a release date for July. I have a release date for July the 22nd already set here.
Based upon this warrant,
Oh, no, for, when I turned myself in to Clayton County put one out on me July the 28th last year. My probation officer did.
okay,
And I already, signed my paper, August of last year, and I got a release date for July 22nd of this year. So I've been here for 12 months.
okay. So, if, and we're just talking about whether there's a warrant out there in Tennessee. If it's your desire to wait until your release date, then you'll be coming back before a judge when you're supposed to be released to deal with this again. Because the warrant is not going to go away out of Tennessee.
Well, I just rather go ahead and go up there and handle it because right now, I gotta get out to my sick wife. So I'd rather just go ahead and handle it up there in Tennessee and see what's going on up through that, up that way.
Okay, so it is your desire to sign a waiver?
To go ahead and go up there to Tennessee, yes, just go up there and get it.
Okay, so they will give you the waiver documents and you will sign it, and then they'll send it to me and I'll sign it. And that'll put Tennessee on the clock to have to come and get you.
And you said they have how long?
Its initial period is 30 days. It can be up to 60 days. If they don't come and get you within the statutory period, then Clayton County will contact Tennessee and say, hey, what's going on?
Mhm.
And they will release you as it relates to the Tennessee issue. Because Clayton County, you know, we're not gonna just hold you indefinitely and honestly feed you and clothe you indefinitely for Tennessee if they're not gonna come and get you.
True.
Okay, but it doesn't make the warrant go away, and that's why it's better to deal with it head on, especially from what you've just explained to me. As they would say, you could kill two birds with one stone.
Mhm.
Okay,
All right.
any other questions, sir?
That'll be it.
Okay, all right, so sign that paperwork and then they'll send it to me and we'll be free to, you'll be free to go back.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is complete our business for today.
Thank you. Are you gonna be working tomorrow?
I'm not sure, Your Honor, this is Deputy Mohammed. So today I was handling first hearing, but I'm not sure who the officer will take care of it tomorrow.
Okay, oh, no problem. All right, well, have a good day. Thank you.